Hello and welcome to episode 10 of SOB, the Son of a Bitch podcast. And I am the bitch, Shannon Livingston.
And I'm not.
And you are.
If you don't know who I am by now,
Do you have to
then
fuck up
you're-
every intro that we do?
yes, because first of all, I thought this was episode 11. Am I wrong?
No, you are wrong.
Okay.
We never did 10, and so this is
Anyway.
10.
Okay,
You're
but if
still-
they're
you're
on
still working on
episode
fingers. How
10,
could
why do
you
I
not-
have to tell that? Like, what they know what my name is by this point?
Somebody may not. They may just be seeing this for the very first time or
Okay.
listening for the first time.
Well,
Could you just say your name?
If you're listening for the first time, go back to episode 1 and start there. But yeah, my name's Joe Labosco, and I am the son in Son of a Bitch, meaning that even though I may not be calling all the shots, the focus of the show really is on my perspective.
Well,
Otherwise,
that's a
it would
matter
just
of
be called
perspective
bitch.
too. Yeah, no, it's both of ours. The show really is
Yeah.
supposed to be. We do have very different perspectives and personalities.
Exactly.
We have the same priorities, I think, but a lot of similarities, but very different ways about getting there. And today's episode is about plastic surgery, which is something that you and I really disagree about
For sure.
for the most part,
Yeah.
especially me getting it. But it hasn't always worked out either. Sometimes it does.
Yeah. I mean, did you go ahead?
Oh, you want me to talk about plastic surgery now?
Yeah.
So I've had a little bit of plastic surgery done. And it started when I was, 1920. I think I was 20 when I got my first boob job. And it was fine until one exploded.
Until it wasn't.
Until
Yeah,
it wasn't, yes. So that lasted about 5 years. And then I woke up the day before Thanksgiving in 1998, and my right implant had ruptured. And because they were saline, it was very noticeable. The saline goes out through your body. And I was told before the surgery that it was not a big deal. Saline is safe. And if one of them were to rupture, that my body would just absorb this extra salt water and, it wasn't going to be a problem.
Mm-hmm.
But that's not what happened. Not what happened at all. So I instantly started to get sick. Different symptoms. The implant site itself started to show signs of infection. I had a fever. It was hot to the touch. It started to swell back up. And I also started to develop symptoms of fibromyalgia, which I did not know at the time, which basically is every symptom ever in every organ system that you have. Like your body is just not cooperative. And so I had all these things going on. I was also then under the care of a doctor who was a friend of mine. And thankfully, he was very well versed in rare disorders. And I started to have an issue that he then helped me to get diagnosed called pemphigus vulgaris, which is an autoimmune disorder, and it affects the protein that binds skin cells together. So basically it causes the skin and mucous membrane, especially, to blister and disintegrate. And people that have this disorder and that aren't able to control it die from suffocation. It's like a burn. It's like a 3rd degree burn. Now, you have seen me have outbreaks of this disorder.
Not in a while, but yeah.
It's been a long time, and it wasn't anything. It didn't cover enough of my body to affect me to that extent.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't want to, give any false impressions of how serious it is. But
I mean, we're not doing a medical podcast anyway.
Well, I'm not gonna get
people
into
are
details.
basing this off of listen to Dr. Drew. He's got a lot of good information.
Does he?
Yeah.
Isn't he like
has
Dr.
a podcast.
Love or something?
No, he talks to different, he talks to comedians and porn stars and all these different people, but he is a legitimate doctor and he has a podcast.
Well, that's a good point. I'm not a doctor. I'm not trying to give anybody medical advice. I'm just sharing my
That's
story.
not why it's certainly not why I'm here. So,
You're here because of pub subs. I bought some sub sandwiches and you agreed to come along. But anyway, back to me. So I developed these disorders that basically the doctor said were genetically within me, and the infection from the implant, because it had been infected with microorganisms that had the shell of the implant had been porous enough to allow nourishment in, and to keep these things alive. I see what your eyes are doing, Joe, and I know it's weird.
There's a lot of science, a lot
It's
of
weird, but it wasn't porous enough to allow them out until, of course, the rupture, and then they, went throughout my body and created a lot of problems.
What about this story could possibly turn me off of plastic surgery?
Well, and the worst part, right, of course, is you were what, 4 years old at the time or
98,
something.
yeah.
And I was a, single mom. You were having brain surgeries, and I had to be with it. I had to be active, and I had so many problems with so many different systems, and it was just one after another. And trying to figure out what it was, and nobody really believed in fibromyalgia, and none of the doctors wanted to really admit that this breast implant had caused a problem, because it was counterproductive to what they were doing. They were placing these things every day. They couldn't say that there had been any problems from them. And the big debate at that point had been silicone in your body. Was your body rejecting silicone? And then, I had saline implants. And so the thinking was that they were just 100% totally safe, but they were not. So that was my first plastic surgery experience. And of course, you have one implant, then what are you going to do? You have to have surgery to at least remove them.
Mm-hmm.
And I did have them replaced. I was 20, however old I was, and just made that choice. And it's now been 20 years that I've had this set, and still have medical problems every day from it. However, there is no guarantee that if they were to remove them, those things would go away. But I've been really, really surprised by the number of women that I speak to. We don't speak about it publicly. Usually, here I am speaking about it. But these breast implants do cause breast implant illness, and not all doctors are hip to it and are going to agree with it. But we all have the same symptoms.
Of course not. They're making money off of giving people implants.
Yeah. Well, and then it makes other doctors money too. I've seen a cardiologist. I've seen all kinds of different specialists because of these symptoms. So that was my first plastic surgery experience. And then I also had another, I don't know why I continue to do these things when I reflect on them, but I had a chin extension done in the back room.
I don't even know what that means.
I know most people don't. In the back room of an oral surgeon's office. It was after hours. He, put some music on. I don't even know if he had a cocktail or not, but I remember my friend was in the room with me, and she said, if you would have seen what they did to you, you would not have let him do that.
Yeah.
They, cut a line like between my gum and my lip, and they pulled my lip down over my chin, and then took a saw, and I was awake for all of this. So I couldn't feel it, but I was not, I'm in a back office. So I'm not being put under anesthesia. There's no anesthesiologist. And so then they sawed through my chin and then put a little, extension, whatever it is. I don't know, bracket, screws. I don't know what's in there. I wasn't awake. I didn't see. And then, so it's my natural bone. When you see, my chin, it's not in an implant. It doesn't look plastic. It doesn't look too rounded. It's my natural bone definition and shape of my bone, but extended a little bit so that my profile is better. So I went through all of that so that I would have a stronger profile, because I was doing modeling stuff and I wasn't getting a lot of print work because I wasn't, I didn't look good in print. Well, I had this awful surgery, which thankfully worked out great. Didn't have, any problems from that, but I still look terrible in pictures. And so that was not the problem. I don't know what the problem is, but I can't change it at this point. I'm 48 and I'm not going to get anything else done. So that was my chin extension. And then I think that cost me $2,700. I was thinking about that today, but back in those days, it was still a deal, but it was backroom surgery. I don't recommend that. What I do recommend is you can go to another country to have surgery too.
Don't.
Well, wait a minute. This is my last one.
Yeah.
So I went to Costa Rica to have my upper eyelids done, because they start to sag down. This was like 10 years ago. Mm-hmm. I had gone with my friend. She went to this dental clinic, and I I saw how nice it was. They have medical tourism and dental tourism. It's all set up to be great care. It's about 20% the cost. And so if you're doing anything that is aesthetic, plastic at all, that insurance isn't going to pay for anyway, it really is a nice place to go. Plus, you're on the black sand beaches and, during recovery and having a great time somewhat. So I went to Costa Rica to have my upper lids done. You have such a tense tone with me already. And then the doctor looked at me and said, okay, so we're going to do the upper and the lower. And I said, no, just the upper. And he went, oh, yeah, I just assumed you were here for the lower. And I said, no, I'm here for the upper.
It's a nice business model you got there, Doc.
Yeah. Well, I paid for upper and lower, then I got it done. But I think it was like $1,700 to get upper and lower done in Costa Rica. They,
Well, but how much money it cost you to get to Costa Rica?
It wasn't expensive. And then, the hotel that you stay in with the little kitchenette there, and I had my friend with me, I think that was only $75 a night. So you couldn't go out at night by yourself. There are definite safety precautions and things like that when you're in the city in Costa Rica. But it was safe to travel with a friend and to go to these medical places. They actually pick you up from the airport, and then most of them, or a lot of them, will have a hotel or some type of place attached to the clinic, so you can go back to your room and like chill out in between, getting things done, and you don't have to drive around.
Do they have cable?
I don't remember cable.
Because I
don't remember a lot though, because you can go to the pharmacia and you can get whatever you want without a prescription. And so we went to a lot of pharmacias, and I bought whatever it was that they had.
No entertainment, no, you just
sleeping by the pool, drugged up.
Yeah,
with stitches,
and in a foreign country.
But everybody else was too. There were a lot of Americans there that were also there getting things done.
Mm-hmm.
And so, it was nice. So I believe in plastic surgery, obviously, maybe not doing it the ways that I have chosen to do. And I do recognize that it's not just a psychological thing. We always talk about, and we'll get there. You and I talk about the need for it. Is it addictive? Does it help you? Is it worse? Is it, but also it does have long lasting effects on your health. So not only do I have, fibromyalgia and pemphigus vulgaris, but now here we are in COVID vaccine discussions, and my doctors don't know if it's better or worse for me.
We don't need to get into that.
I'm not getting into it in detail, but my doctors don't know, because I have these complicated, disorders that could be triggered by a vaccination or could be triggered by anything, because my body has been so overloaded by, the implant and the contamination and everything and all the drugs and treatments and everything that happened after too. The treatment itself has also been rough along the way. So it's not just what you look like and that psychological fallout of it. It's all of the physical stuff that comes too. Now, so you think that plastic surgery is always harmful, never helpful?
That's not what I said.
Well, I'm being extreme to get some type of reaction out of you.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't say necessarily that I am completely against plastic surgery. I would advise people to, consider all of your options. And like, if you really feel that that's something that's necessary, then just accept that the potential fallout of that decision is on you.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you don't get to blame the doctor at that point. I mean, you can if they straight up don't do what they told you they were going to do. Right. But
I don't blame my doctors for the implants.
Yeah, no, I understand. But but it's just one of those that, people do it and then it turns out bad. And then they say, oh, well, society pressured me to have to look this way. And, while that may be true, society puts pressure on everyone all the time.
And not everybody cuts into their body.
You can choose to buck the trend or not, but don't give me this, peer pressure, cause me to get these cheek implants. So now I look like a goldfish.
But they have studies that have shown that attractive people are helped out on the side of the road faster than unattractive people.
But if you get shoddy plastic surgery, you're no longer attractive.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like
But at the time,
it's a
all I was thinking
self-fulfilling
was,
prophecy.
this is an
Okay,
opportunity.
but you, even with all of your issues as
My
physically,
issues.
from a visual standpoint, you got lucky.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people don't.
Well, that's nice,
And
I think.
their facial structure, or the limbs, or anything that they have, they're
Yeah, I've seen botched.
tainted for the rest of their lives.
There's a lot of bad work out there.
And you see these celebrities who evolve. Look at what Pamela Anderson looks like. Look at Madonna at however old she, 85 years old. Like,
but because we have a need in this society to look sexy, well beyond
okay, but
our childbearing years, which, when you talk about like sociobiology, that is the attraction between men and women. It's to keep the race going. And while sex may feel good and all of that, there just shouldn't be this
right,
need
but
to keep
I also
being a sex bomb at,
yeah,
75 years
right,
old.
but I think what the disconnect that we're having here is that
Are you flipping me off?
no,
All right.
this is what are you talking
You
about?
had your middle fingers up on your temples, which I know I'm giving you a headache, but I thought you were also saying, fuck you.
Yeah, no,
I
what
don't
I'm
like this conversation.
what I don't understand when it comes to plastic surgery is that the end result often looks worse than it did before. So if the goal is to look better into your 50s, 60s, 70s, whatever, the best way to do that is to just take care of yourself and let that happen naturally.
It's not
because
always
the more
aging.
work you get done, you look like Joan Rivers, and
that's
you're
what
not
killed her.
attractive. Like, that's just, it doesn't work.
But it's not all about aging. Breast implants, for example, if you have children and you're breastfeeding, or even not, it changes the shape of your breast, and they can look like little pancakes, like little deflated, sad objects. And maybe you're just trying to restore your body.
Okay, well then, if you want to get a boob job, then get a boob job. Millions of people do. Like,
what about
I don't,
a butt job? Those butt bags. How do you heal from that? Like, you go into your office and just lie on your stomach while you type?
Will you get one of those airplane pillow? Like, I don't know.
The hemorrhoid pillows?
I don't live in Miami.
And
I don't know how that works.
You tell people that you have awful hemorrhoids instead of admitting that you had butt bags put in?
No, I
Are you
think
thinking about that one?
No, I think you just say, I'm 25 in either Miami or Los Angeles, and I want to be in music videos, and so this is what I did.
Well, but it's not just being in music videos, and
it's not, but sometimes it is.
Although I did make some money, off the implants in the world of strip clubs. For me, it has been really about confidence. It's been, having my eyes and my chin and all that. It's not just making more money modeling or dancing. It has been about being self-confident. And that also translates into making more money and being happier. So isn't that enough? Or do we always have to have a deformity that we're trying to fix? Like, is like the only acceptable way to have plastic surgery, according to you, is, because you have cancer or a hair lip?
I'm just saying, I'm not saying that people can't, shouldn't be free to make their own choices of how to adjust their body. I'm saying you need to recognize what that is and what it isn't. It's not going to solve all of your physical or emotional problems.
What about piercing and stretching and branding and
same
all
thing?
Of that?
It's a one-way decision. Like, you just have to understand that
altering your body is forever.
Yeah. Or if it's not, it's, the process to correct it is often incredibly painful and expensive and complicated if it can be corrected.
Aren't you so glad you didn't get that tattoo that you were thinking about getting? That I said, just hold off, put it in a box, and wait a year.
The Mizzou tattoo?
Yeah. Because you didn't go to Mizzou.
Yeah, but I still got accepted. That's, it is where it is where I'm from. I support their athletic program. Like, people get Ohio State tattoos. I didn't go to Ohio State. Like, it's not that.
Really?
Yes.
No.
Yeah, you just don't understand sports culture. Like, that's
a
very, well, it's a different thing.
I understand getting like an NFL logo, but not a college. College is, you went there. You went to college there. No, you just like the team.
It's not. You think everyone who supports these schools went there?
Yeah.
Do you realize how much money these schools make?
No. I went to the School of Hard Knocks. I know.
Hundreds of millions of dollars. It's not just alumni.
Well, then they should have
It's
paid
the
me
same
better.
thing. It's the
when
same thing I
taught.
was telling you. You said when I was telling you about that rapper Lil Uzi Vert, who had a
Who?
pink diamond implanted
Oh,
in
yeah,
his
yeah.
forehead, and you're like, well, how did he get the diamond? He bought it.
Mm-hmm.
He had $24 million to drop on a diamond. Yes. Like that's just
That story went nowhere. Why did you tell that story?
no, because you just don't understand the scope of some of these things. And it's like, yes, these people do make that much money. Yes, these universities do have, you know, they're getting money from hundreds of thousands of people who never went to that school. Like that's how that works.
Because the school that I worked for doesn't have a good sports team. Well, they have a great basketball.
They're like D2. Yes, they're and I UMKC, Rockhurst actually has a better basketball program.
FGCU.
FGCU does not have a great basketball program anymore.
Oh,
that
no,
coach that got them. That
I'm
coach
just wondering why, if money comes from sports, why they didn't pay me better.
They didn't hire you for sports.
I know, but if they make money in sports, doesn't that translate? No, they don't then pay you to teach about cannabis.
This is what I was telling you. FGCU put all their money in the basketball program, then the coach left and went to USC.
Oh,
so you know that whole thing. We can talk about that another time.
Yeah, that has nothing to do with plastic surgery.
Well, okay.
Unless he left because he had horrible plastic surgery and wanted to hide.
He did go to Southern California, which is the epicenter of plastic surgery.
Men having plastic surgery also, I think, is a little more taboo than women. Like the one of the guys that I dated before, we won't say his name, but you know, I was very honest about my boob job, and he was not honest about his. He had his man boobs cut off, and he was just totally secretive about it. Didn't say anything. And then I found the paperwork when I was helping him with his files. You know, he asked me to help him with some work stuff, and there his paperwork was that said he had this surgery.
Guys getting plastic surgery it's a different kind of.
They can lie about it.
Phenomenon.
Women
no, that is
honest,
not. You're going way off into. I'm not making a point about whether or not they should like that. I don't care.
I'm having knee-jerk reactions. I'm drinking Red Bull, and I can't help it.
You're drinking Diet Red Bull, first of all.
Well, it doesn't make me less antsy or less knee-jerk.
I don't even know what Diet Red Bull does.
It's sugar-free.
Then
it's giving me cancer.
If you're worried about your health,
at the same time,
don't drink Red Bull.
Don't
anyway, actually, I have a friend who works for Red Bull, so I probably shouldn't. Anyway.
So men in plastic surgery.
Men in plastic surgery usually they're having it for the same kind of reasons that women do it, but they usually get different.
Laid. That's why they do it.
Maybe that's what they think.
Women do it to be wanted, to be loved.
Yeah, men can just work out, and generally what they want is what they will get. Women, it's more of altering the structure, shape. Like guys just want to look, you know,
buff,
like an athlete, or a bodybuilder.
They get face stuff done too, and they have makeup now for guys.
Europeans, maybe not over. They have makeup for guys.
Yes.
Yeah, I know they have makeup for guys. It doesn't mean guys. It's okay to wear it. Like, I mean, you can do
okay to wear
you can do whatever you want, but that doesn't mean that someone's not going to come up to you and say, "Hey, you look ridiculous." Like, I've worn makeup, you know this, but I took the flack that came with that. Like. That's part of the deal.
A little concealer wouldn't hurt you. You look kind of tired today.
I look tired every day. I am tired every day.
Maybe some mascara on your lashes.
Yeah. No, I'm not planning on belting out Faster Pussycat anytime soon.
I loved hair bands and all of their makeup.
Yeah.
I don't know why I didn't see that as strange, but I thought that was awesome.
You know, I mean, Dee Snider was a pioneer.
And now they're all having plastic surgery
nothing against
because they're older than I am.
Well, again, they live in California. They have a brand to protect. Like, if your body is your well-being, I get it. But again,
like
do your research. Yeah, do your research. Make good decisions.
So I should not go to foreign countries, back rooms.
Well, foreign countries, like a lot of those most of those doctors are from the United States and go down there to go fishing and not pay taxes.
I'm glad you feel that way, because I am going back to Costa Rica.
Whatever, but
because I need a brow lift.
But with that whole scenario, again, do your research, find out where you're staying. Don't go wandering around in South America. Like,
It's
It
Central
just
America.
I thought Costa Rica was in South America.
I think it's Central.
Are you sure?
No, I'm not sure. That's what I said. I think. Yeah, you
Okay.
can Google all you want. But so I'm gonna get a brow lift, and I'm gonna have
Why?
somebody go, because I can only get my eyelid skin cut out so much, or it's gonna be like Kenny Rogers. The whole thing is falling.
What's
And
wrong
so
with being like Kenny Rogers?
Kenny Rogers was great, and I'm all into the gambler, but I don't need his plastic surgery look. So far I've been able to age gracefully, but we do a lot of video now with the podcast and with 239 uncensored. And so I'm now having to look at myself where before I really didn't.
Okay, right, but see, this is what I'm saying.
What?
That's just how life is supposed to go. Those are things that you're
My
supposed
ass
to
does not have
just
to hit the floor just because that is how gravity works. If I have the money, the resources to get it all lifted back up into place, then why would I not do that? I'm not getting like a face
You just talked
transplant.
about all the things that have already gone wrong, and now you're asking why would I not do that?
But some things have gone right too. My eyes were fine. My chin was fine. The second set of boobs, okay.
Okay, yeah, you ever
Getting ready to
played
pop again.
you
but
ever played blackjack in the casino?
Yeah, a lot.
Yeah, do you know what happens when you keep going up?
What are you saying? That my parts are just going to start falling off?
No, I'm saying you
Like
can
one day my
only
chin's just going to fall off.
only beat the dealer so many times.
So the surgeon is my dealer. I don't follow the analogy here.
The house always wins.
But I'm the house.
No.
But my body is my temple, and that's like a house.
The cosmetic surgery industry is the house.
This is getting way too intellectual for me. I just wanted to do a podcast to talk about plastic surgery so
Okay,
that
right.
I could break
but you,
into you that I'm
wanted
getting
to
a brow
hear
lift.
my opinion. And my
So
opinion,
your opinion is don't do it.
Stop.
Me stop personally?
Yes.
No, I have a little more to do.
Okay.
I do. And I think it's good. Plus, we live in Naples.
I mean, look, whatever. You're going to do what you want to do. But the problem is when people have the wrong perspective on it, when they think, oh, I'll just get this one thing done to my nose, or, get these things in my cheeks.
I like how you're smushing up your face so that we can't hear you. But I don't do things,
and that'll fix everything, and I'll feel better about myself.
I don't feel badly about myself, and I don't feel like I need to fix my life. I love my life.
You just need to fix your eyebrows.
Not my eyebrows. The brow lift it pulls your whole face up.
Oh, so they're going to cut your entire forehead.
Pulls your whole face up. I don't know how they do it.
Are you getting this done at a shack in the middle of a field in Texas?
I'm going to go back down to Costa Rica.
Okay. If you see Matthew McConaughey showing up and asking if he can take a ride in your truck, say no.
It's not going to be like that. But you have to get stuff done just periodically for maintenance. Otherwise, you'll look weird. And I'm sorry, but this face and all the stuff I've had done to it has put food on the table that you then put into your little belly. So you might disagree with some of the stuff that I've done, but it has benefited you. And there, you're quiet. I think that's a good place to end it.
Wait a minute. Wait. How long have we been talking?
That's a good place to end it. I'm done. Aren't you done? I feel like I've made my point.
Well, I don't know. Like, our usual show is at least half an hour. How long have we been talking?
Oh, look at that. Perfect timing for you to wrap it up and say goodbye. You hate it when I do a good job. I can see it on your face.
You always think you do a good job. So regardless of, I don't.
Often, but not always. But I think that is a good place to leave it. We can do more episodes, certainly. And you can always give me your opinion. I'm probably not ever going to accept it 100%. Well, I mean, I accept it, but I'm not going to agree with it.
If you want to get plastic surgery, then by all means, get plastic surgery.
Mm-hmm.
But realize what the potential ramifications of that are, and realize it's not going to solve all of your problems. It's going to make something about you look slightly different.
Is that advice for other people, or are you speaking to me?
I'm done giving advice to you.
So that's other people.
Yes, you're going to do what you want to do.
Make sure that your life is actually in order and you're not trying to just change.
Right? Yeah. If you're expecting some doctor in Malibu to fix your self-esteem, it's not going to work.
Right.
You know, that power only comes from within.
Well, and beauty is an internal thing. So while I may
Right.
do media and recognize that that has a certain amount of responsibility, I guess, to keep myself up, I really do try to work on the inside
Well,
a
yeah,
lot
and
more.
eventually, I don't care who you are, your looks to an extent will fade,
Yes.
and then then if you're just shallow or conceited or bitchy or whatever the problem may be, no one's going to want to spend time around you because now you're not pretty to look at and you're not fun to talk to. So worry about that first.
Well, yeah, pretty was only a legacy with what's her face? I can't even think of her name now, so I guess it wasn't a legacy.
There you go.
There you go. All right.
Substance
Thanks for
over
listening.
substance over
Style,
yeah, there you go.
I think is the phrase.
Don't judge a book by its cover, even if it's
I
your
can't
own.
take it. Just say goodbye. Just wrap it up. You love to do this. You just you crawl along at the end. when I
Peace,
want you to
love,
do it.
and scalpels. Have a good day.
Peace, love, and scalpels.